If you Google what makes a retiree happy, you'll get pages and pages and pages. How much money you should have, how much you should be saving, what's the stock market going to do, what investments should you have, what medical plans, what dental plans, the risk versus the non-risk of investing, and on and on and on. And although money is a very, very, very important side of retirement, I believe that the non-financial side of retirement is equally as important as the financial side. To me, I'm always looking for the fun in life, how to smile more, how to keep the wonder in your life, how to have enjoyment, how to be excited each and every day, how to enjoy your retirement. And really, that's why I always say how to make your retirement remarkable, whatever remarkable means to you. And so recently, Ken and I went on a long, exciting vacation for our 40th wedding anniversary. But I made it my job to talk to as many retirees as possible and ask them two questions. Number one, what do they regret or wish they would have done differently? And number two, what are they happy that they did do in their lives? So last week's video was all about the regrets or the wishes that they would have done. And really, I think it was some of life's best advice. And I'll post that video. I'll link it in the comments below. So if you haven't watched it, you can. But equally great, today I share the second question. What are they happy that they have done in their lives? I'm Maureen Dobransky. This is Life Starts at Retirement. I share a retirement lifestyle video every Monday morning, and I would be absolutely honored if you would consider subscribing to this channel. Now, I must have talked to hundreds of retirees on our recent trip, and it was so incredible to meet so many of them and connect with them. And they shared some wonderful thoughts on both what they did to be happy, what they did in their lives that made them happy, and what they did in their lives that they kind of regretted or wish they had done different. Today's video, again, is all about the happy things, what they did in their lives that was good for them. So in no particular order, here is their great advice. Now, I say no particular order, but I've heard this one over and over and over again. And I'm going to sum it up in one word: connection. I heard so many times that people, friends, family, heck, even strangers on a vacation, talking to them and connecting with them make life so much better. The ability to connect. And most people said how their relationships with others enriched their lives and made them so much better. So I would encourage you to make that phone call to an old friend. Go over and say something to a person that you see all alone. Take a chance and go out and maybe take a class or do something you've always wanted to do, because you never know when you'll meet a great person or a new great friend. Connection. The next thing most people said that they were glad that they had done in their lives was taking risks. And there are so many varieties to what a risk means to people. Anything from a risk while they were working to get a better job to a risk of trying something new. And many times it really wasn't worded as a risk. They didn't say, I took a risk. They said, oh, I did this adventure and it was so amazing. It was out of my comfort zone. Oh, I tried something new and it was wonderful. But I heard over and over again that typically they were a little bit scared to try that something new. They were worried maybe what other people would have thought of them. They were comfortable in their lives and they didn't know if they should kind of mess it up a little bit to try something new. But when they took that risk, even if it didn't turn out as expected, they were so glad they did. I talk often about the rocking chair philosophy. When I'm 95, and hopefully I'll make it to 95, and I'm sitting on my rocking chair rocking, will I be glad that I did this? And if the answer is yes, do it. So it often, most of these people said it often led them to something great in their lives. And I love that. Now, the next thing that many people were happy about was their attitudes, I guess. Over and over and over again, I heard how as they aged, as we all age, but this group of people were very, very confident in saying their attitude, or maybe the way they view their life, changed as well. They worried less. They did not care as much what others thought of them. They focused a bit more on themselves and who was important to them in their lives, and they didn't worry at all about others. They really focused on their little group of themselves, their friends, their family. They realized the only thoughts that they can control are their own, and they became less stressed because of that. They mentioned many times that age can be freeing. It can be a freeing thing, that you don't worry so much. You don't think about what others think of you, and that is great. And speaking from experience, it really is fantastic to have that. I used to be this worrier about what others thought about me. Now, I honestly don't care. I try to be a really good person, and I try to do my best, but if someone doesn't like me, I'm okay with that. It's a great feeling, and it's freeing. The next thing that I heard that people were happy that they did in their life was they began more so to take their health seriously. Many people said it took a health scare to get there, and many others said that they took it for granted until one day they realized they had to make a change. But every single person that focused on their health were so glad that they did. They said that the energy, the clarity, the future all looked better because they were healthy. And although this video is about the things that retirees were glad they did, I had as many or more even mention they needed to get healthy. They really, really knew they needed to get healthy. It came to a time in a lot of people's lives where they went, okay, well, this was fun getting to this place, and I really enjoyed eating everything, laying around, drinking a lot, but they needed to get healthy. Really something to think about. And then I heard many, many more things, such as they were glad they traveled as much as they did. They were glad they saved as much as they did. They were glad they learned new things. But I want to end this video in a similar way that I did last week's video, because it was really what I consider powerful for us at our age. Now, a common thought was that these retirees viewed themselves as the same people they always were. They look at the world the same way, but as we age, people look differently at us. And I heard many, many times that the person looking back at you when you're looking in the mirror isn't the person that's in your mind. Like, I can relate to that. I look in the mirror and I think I should look 25. That's how I feel. But I'm 60, so I don't look 25. But people out there see us differently. And I see that beginning with myself, and to a much greater degree with my parents. I'm starting to see younger people already not always dismiss my opinion, but kind of look at me and go, well, she's old. She doesn't really get what I'm doing. I've been told I don't see the world the same way they do today, and that's probably true. I've been told to get with it, get with the times. The times have changed. And I'm probably even a bit guilty of it with my own parents, because the generation that my parents grew up in was vastly different from mine. And so we have different views of the world and the way things are. And then the generation that I grew up in was vastly different from my kids. And even more so from my grandchildren. And so the lesson, I guess, that I learned here and from the many, many, many people I talked to is learn from the generation before you. They've learned so much. They've experienced so much. They've done so much. They've accomplished so much. And they have so much wisdom to share. But most of all, be kind, be compassionate, and be a good person. I'm Maureen Dobransky again. This is Life Starts at Retirement. I produce a retirement lifestyle video every Monday morning, and we are growing our Facebook group. I would love if you would join us. It's at facebook.com/group/Life Starts at Retirement.